another episode of Independent Chick. I'm Dana Foster, and on today's show, we are going to be talking about body image and fitness, and I'm joined with Marianne, who is a fitness RN, a fitness nurse. We also have Bronwyn, who is a health and wellness beauty entrepreneur, and then we have Raquel, who is a poli-science student. All right, so I'm just going to start off with Marianne. Is fitness for body image or for health?
Well, when clients come up to us, the biggest thing is obviously aesthetics. They realize later on that the health benefits of exercising to make them look beautiful ends up being the first part of the benefit why they end up joining. So that's why I think that it's a combination of the two. Most of the reasons why they come to get into fitness is because they want to look better. But at the end of it, it's because they want to feel better.
All right. What do you guys think? Either or?
I would agree to an extent.
For like society, do you think most people are going to look good, or that's actually for a health reason? I think to me it seems like they get to a point where their health is unhealthy and then they have to change. But then you see other people who are just in the gym looking at themselves in the mirror going, I look good. So what is it? What do you think?
I think there is an element of, you go to the gym and you want to look good. I think most people who join the gym January 1st are thinking, by next year this time I'm going to be down 20 pounds and be able to lift this amount of weight. I think there is a point in fitness that it can get a little bit too extreme, that people might get really involved in this sort of gym culture that exists. And I'm sure in the fitness world, I'm sure you know better than anyone, they can get really, it's just the end of the world if you have a cupcake. And I think having a balanced diet, it's so important to be able to be okay with eating any sort of food and then exercising your body so that you live a longer, healthier life. Absolutely. So I think there's a dynamic there that kind of can be taken to an extreme. But
I feel like there's a balance that's often missed when it comes to health, wellness, and fitness. As you were saying, Marianne, a lot of people go into it essentially aesthetically. Personally, I did do the whole gym thing off and on from the age of 16. I'm 31 now. I practice 5 different forms of yoga because I enjoy it and I love it, and I feel a sense of balance in my life and in my head. And I feel like I'm then able to then project out to the world more of a positive influence on women, men, and people in general. So for me, the fitness and health and wellness aspect is more internal. And I know a lot of people, with their face and their beauty, etc., that's a priority, but we're a machine and we need to fuel our machine correctly. And if you used a parallel, let's say with a vehicle, etc., you go for tune-ups and you want to maintain it to maintain the integrity of it to last longer and to the best strength it can be.
Absolutely.
So do you think that there's pressure from the fitness world to look a certain way?
Well, the majority of it is our age too, right? So you made a good point when you started young. A lot of the times when we're looking at body image and self-esteem, it starts when we're in our teenager years, right? So you see how your parents talk to you, what are they saying to you? Are you fat? Are you skinny? You go to your family functions and they're telling you certain things. And then as you see your friends and you're around peers, then that's when you start changing your mind about how you look. You start actually having an opinion about how you look in your clothes, how you feel in your clothes. Then as you get older, of course, you're in your 20s, and then that's when you start realizing that exercise is helpful. It helps with stress, it helps with being around people, it's a social thing. Then, like you said, once you get older, you start realizing that this is actually more of something that's not just physical, this is something that's gonna help me in the long term, right?
I think you touched on a really good point where there comes a point, I think, in most women's and men's lives when they're not doing fitness just to define who they are by how they look, but to incorporate into a healthy lifestyle, to have the longevity and health to live a very long, healthy life. So I think there's a point there where hopefully that most people recognize by the time they're in their late 20s and stuff. I'm getting to that point now, where it's not so much about looking good, but it's more, I'm not defining myself by what I look like, but by who I am, and it's just it's just helping to live a healthy lifestyle.
Well, when we look at fitness magazines, or really any magazines, we always see the quick fixes, like get killer abs in 30 days. Do you think those are realistic magazine articles?
I don't. No. I feel like, and for myself in my experience, when I did the gym thing, I just feel like that's so planting a seed of negative energy into the person who does buy into that. And they need to look at the big picture. Is that attainable forever? yes, 30 days to get these abs. Are you going to maintain that 30 days forever? Are you going to commit to yourself? Are you going to turn that into an affirmation and continue and prolong that and practice what you preach and share with others those things?
So, Marianne, can I get killer abs in 30 days?
Well, and I think the reason why those magazine features end up being picked up by people like us is because you do want to have that guarantee that, okay, can I get this in 30 days? When you look at the pictures in the magazines, you have to understand that they go through a rigorous amount of training, exercises, like we just did a recent photo shoot. So there's a pattern that people take to get to that day. That same person that has the beautiful abs that day, tomorrow their body looks very different. So you're looking at that person at the end of a transformation period versus something that you see every day. So I think that's the mentality and the mindset that we look at. We're like, I want to look like that every day. But we don't. We eat different, we act different, we exercise at different periods in our time, so we have to know what our body responds to when we're eating and exercising differently.
Well, we see a lot of, I'm sure you've seen on the Facebooks, a lot of like the Photoshop and the editing and those like revealing. Dove was doing a commercial about how this distorted image of people, of women and their bodies is not the correct one. Do you think that itself is distorting the way women view their bodies?
Absolutely. I absolutely think so. I think 100% of the image in magazines are photoshopped. I mean, even the girl with the abs doesn't look like the girl with the abs. I think it was Cindy Crawford who said, I wish I looked like Cindy Crawford. You know what I mean? Like, so that image, that woman in that magazine looks amazing in real life, but everything's been just photoshopped out. Scars, tattoos, blemishes, hair's out of place, like any little roll, it's all photoshopped out. So she doesn't even really look like that. And most people, I don't think, realize to the extent that these images are photoshopped. So not only are they a very small percentage of people that are born with the genetics to be able to look like that, but these images are altered to such an extent that they don't even look like that. It's incredibly unattainable for your average woman, I would think.
If I can touch on what you were saying, because I agree with you tenfold. I feel also the advertisements that we're reading in magazines and on Facebook, etc., in reference to you know, being a larger woman or a plus size woman, I'm equally as beautiful, and I'm personally tired of the justification of the skinny person having to defend themselves for being beautiful and the, you know, heavier person having to find themselves as beautiful, because enough is enough already, and let's just like throw that junk away and let's just be that beautiful person.
Isn't that an individual thing though? Like, I mean,
it could be.
You should be able to know whether the media is saying you should look this way or you should look that you are beautiful whatever way you look. So wouldn't it be just an individual thought process?
I think it's hard though in North America. I think there was a study done in 2002, they studied the islands of Fiji, and Fiji did not have television until 1994, not widespread television. And within 3 years of having television, this ancient culture from valuing robust women had turned to have over, I think, 12% bulimia rates, 75% disordered eating in general. There was increase in alcoholism, sex in teenagers. It was just unbelievable how much body image from the television had altered how they felt about themselves. And before, in a culture where I'm fat was never a word uttered to people, young women making themselves throw up to look a certain way. Wow. And that's the only study that was able to be done, because there's not really anywhere else where you can not have TV and then have TV and see the effect. And that was only 3 years, and North America's had television for over 50. So it's really interesting, and we're bombarded by over 3,000 advertisements a day. So just, I think the media is selling an image of how we have to look, and then these magazines come out with a solution of how we have to look. And 30 days later, a new magazine comes out, you know, with another 30-day program.
All right, so just before we wrap things up, how do you find that balance as to wanting to be healthy and also looking good?
I think it's a challenge. I think you really have to develop a level of self-confidence that comes with growth. You know, when you're young, like, you don't understand the amount of work and payment these supermodels get in the Photoshop. I think once you realize that and you put a higher value on yourself than just defining how you look, I think it's becomes more about health and wellness, and the perks of looking great after is just a perk. Yeah.
I feel like people really need to look inside and really realize we are what we eat. If it grows, it's excellent to be consuming that and feeding the machine with things. I love cupcakes. So, I mean, we need to be okay with that as well. And we need to just find that yin-yang balance with being okay with, we are what we eat. Let's eat what grows, what, you know, we're supposed to be eating, but be human at the same time, and be okay with that. And don't look in the mirror and self-doubt, and turn that self-doubt conversation with yourself into, again, a positive affirmation.
All right.
For me, I think it's just, like you said, changing the story of how we look at ourselves, right? So our body image is a role of how we see ourselves. So for me, it's more surrounding ourselves with people who are positive. Like you said, we see magazines, we see books that are out there. What are we going to purchase? What are we going to buy? Who are we going to be surrounded with that's going to help us keep our image positive versus negative?
All right. Well, thank you so much. You've been watching Independent Chick. Now you can join the conversation. Just go to Facebook, Independent Chick, and tell us your thoughts. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to Independent Chick. Today we're talking about fitness, and that's why we've brought in Vernis Blair. He is the fitness coach or personal trainer for higher level fitness. So we're going to talk about when you fall off the track. Well, you know, you start off strong, New Year's resolution, you're working hard, you're working out, and then all of a sudden it goes to mush. What do you do?
Well, the first thing you got to do is realize that you got to take it one day at a time. So a lot of people, they start focusing on their end goal, and if they're not achieving their benchmarks quick enough, then they just give up. So it gets very discouraging. Okay, so first thing you got to do is take it one step at a time. If you find yourself falling off, the number one thing you got to do is pick yourself up and be consistent with whatever you do. So that's the number one thing is if you're consistent with whatever you do, then you're going to see results as long as you're doing something. All right. Number two, you got to focus on making your meals match your consistency of your workout. So it's very easy to say, well, I wasn't really working out hard and that's why I didn't eat very well. Or I ate bad and I worked out really hard. We want those two to be consistent because then you're going to start seeing the results, and then once you start seeing the results, it gives you more energy to continue.
All right, so I am one of those who fell off the track. Vernis and I were working out. I think I was doing really good.
Very good.
Summertime, you can see there's a difference going on. So I'm getting ready to get back on track, and today you're going to show me a few routines?
Yeah, so we're just going to do a workout segment, something really quick that you can do at home. So we're going to go through 3 exercises, and then, you know, if you happen to watch this later and you want to do it again, you can do it again. For those of you at home, you can kind of repeat it a couple times. So the first thing we're going to start out with, all right, we're going to get in a squat position, okay? So you're going to squat down, right, and then you're going to do a front kick.
Okay.
Okay, then you're going to do the same squat, and then you're going to do a side kick. Perfect. So let's do 5 of those real quick. So that was 1.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait. Okay, hold on. 1.
There you go.
2.
Perfect.
Right?
Yep.
3.
Perfect.
4.
4. And 1 more. 5. Excellent. So of course you're going to feel some burning in your legs and all that good stuff, right?
Good.
To get you going, right? So of course you would do the other side, but for time purposes we're going to speed up. We're going to jump into the next one, which is going to be a bopping lunge, right? So you're going to get into the lunge position.
Bopping lunge.
A bopping lunge, right?
Okay.
So you're going to get into the lunge position, okay? And what you're going to do is go down to where you're comfortable, and you're going to come up.
I feel like I could have weights in my hand.
You could have weights in your hand if you wanted to make it more difficult, okay? And we're just going to bop up and down.
1.
Okay.
2. Hey, where'd you stop? 3.
Well, because I'm watching your form.
4. 5? Is that good?
That's perfect. Let's get to 10. Let's get to 10. That was 7. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so that burns a little bit. You got to keep your core engaged as well. So these are exercises you might feel like you're only using your bottom half.
I'm not out of breath.
But yeah, you're not out of breath, but you're using your whole body to do these things, right?
Okay.
So the last one we're going to do is jump touch. So you're going to start with your legs together, hands at your side. Okay, attention, right? You're going to squat down to the sitting position, right? And then you're going to jump straight back up into a straight line. Okay, so you're going to jump back down and then jump straight back up. So let's do 5 more of those. Perfect. 2. Let's squat a little deeper when you go down.
3.
There you go. 4. And 5. So there's your 3 segments. There's your 3 quick ones for your little workout segment.
All right. So hopefully you learned something with that. I'm ready to get back on track. Thank you so much for joining us here.
You're very welcome. Anytime.
On Independent Chick. We'll be right back right after this. We'll be talking about makeup. Welcome back back to Independent Chick. We are now talking about makeup. As you may notice, my face is done up by Bryna of Blush Beauty Mobile in hair and makeup. Yeah. Now, Bryna's done my hair and my makeup, if you've noticed, and you've commented, yeah, this is who does it. Today we're going to be talking about daytime and nighttime look. This is daytime and this is nighttime. So how do you, what's the difference in makeup for day and night?
Well, there's a few different things you can do. Lots of people like to usually go with palettes and just buy a palette and see kind of what they feel more comfortable with. But the lighter colors are usually better for the day. So if you're wanting something more through the day or for work or for, say, a first date, you want to look a little bit more natural, right? So you would do something more like what Dana's wearing here with a little bit of subtle of a plum and then some pale pinks and a little bit of whites in there as well. So, and then obviously more of a pout for a lip, which is kind of nice. So something like that is really nice for a day or for work. And then we have more evening. We have Raquel here, and she's got a dramatic eye. So if you close your eyes, Raquel, she's got a little bit more darker grays and some blacks mixed in there. But I did mix a little bit of some plums in there too, just because of her eye color, just makes it pop a little bit more. And then a neutral lip. So yeah, that's just basically something to figure out for day and night.
All right, now we're noticing that she has dark mascara on. Now,
yes.
do you start with you don't put foundation on the way you do it. Can you tell us a little bit about how you apply makeup?
Yes, for sure. One of my major rule of thumbs is when you're applying makeup, to do your eyes first. Lots of people don't tell you that, but it really helps with not getting that raccoon look, if you know what I mean. So yeah, apply your eyes first, especially if you're using dark colors, eyebrows, eyes, even eyelashes, and then you go on and do the rest of your face when you're completely done with the eyes, so you have time to kind of remove what you have that has fallen, and then start with a clean slate.
Most people who've done my makeup, they start with the foundation and then they just wipe it off, and so then they reapply.
Yeah.
You don't.
You can do that, but to me, just getting the look that it's even throughout, I feel like if you do the eyes first, anything that drops, it just kind of makes more sense to me, and then just wipe anything that has dropped and then start clean. And then that way you don't have to worry about any demarcation lines or anything like that.
All right, so later on in the show, we have a new segment. It's called How To, Independent Chick How To. So we're going to be talking about eyelashes. I'm wearing natural eyelashes, right?
And, and she will be wearing wispy ones. So we haven't done them yet, but she will be wearing some wispy.
So later on in the show, we will be back. We're going to be applying how to apply false eyelashes. Yeah. All right, we have entertainment coming up next. Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this. And we're back here on Independent Chick. Thank you so much for watching. We now are joined with Kat. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Absolutely.
Kat's a local Winnipeg artist. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I have been a musician here in Winnipeg for the last long while, I'll say. And I have not only had toured solo and toured with a band, but I've also been doing some scoring for the last couple years. So I've done some short films. I did a web series with NBC, and just recently I did a couple full-length documentaries, and that was a nice challenge. I enjoyed that.
Well, you have a really interesting resume. Now, how does somebody get into doing scoring? You see most people as musicians, they want to get and be the next Britney Spears or something like that. How did you get into that?
I have a friend down from Canada who moved down to Hollywood, and he was having some great success, and so he was kind enough to bring us along, and my producer and I did some scoring for one of his short films, and it just sort of branched out from there. So as I said, I've done some documentaries for people here, I've done some short films for people in Toronto. I actually did a video game for someone in Poland recently, which was fantastic. Yeah. Really great.
All right, this next song that you're going to play for us, can you tell us a bit about it?
Sure, it's a brand new song, and so it doesn't quite have a finalized title yet, but it's called The Pirate Song for now.
All right, The Pirate Song. We're going to hear from Kat. Thank you.
Well, there's a land, a bright and dandy land, where even Kenny can make your teeth shine, where every man and man says please and thank you, ma'am. He wants to hold your hand and whisper, be mine. And don't forget about the money tree. Trust me, honey, we could snatch a branch and buy a ranch, fiddle-dee-dee. And no one says, 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 no one try to fly, but touch the sky. Oh me, oh me, oh my, can't keep my feet on the ground. Where every pirate has two eyes. I, Captain, I, the ship's treasure bound. To get the X, you'll find the pot of gold. So I've been told you won't get old to catch a cold. Yo ho, and no one says, 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 no one says no. Send me an invite, I'd love to come to the beautiful, beautiful land of the dumb, where the sky's always blue and the grass always green and the faucets pour out hot fudge and cold ice cream. But I've paid for your ticket and now what a shame, I haven't got one penny left to my name. So I'll stand at the gate with the rest of the crowd and we'll tear you to bits if you try to get out. So enjoy your happiness, your sweet or warm caress. Don't fear the coming mess when it will all fall apart. For it is very soon you'll learn to change your tune, faced with certain doom and a quivering heart. And you can pull a grin or wear a frown, but it's happening now. Somehow you're gonna go down. And no one says, 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 no one says no.
This is Independent Chick, and we are talking about how to apply eyelashes. So Bryna is going to show us how to apply false eyelashes.
Yes, okay, so we just got a pair of wispies here. They're just a black wispy eyelash. So they're great for just a little bit more definition and a little bit more pizzazz for the night out. So you're just gonna take it off. You're going to make sure it's the right size for the eye. So you're just gonna put it on without any without any glue yet. So I'm just gonna line it up with our eye, make sure it fits. This one actually fits perfectly, so we don't even have to worry about cutting them. Usually you would measure it and see how much it went over on her lid, and then you would cut to the size.
Okay.
She doesn't need to. So
no, do we use black or white eyeshadow?
Glue. Glue. Yeah, I use black glue. I like the black glue just because, especially if she's got more dramatic eyes anyway, it's great to do because it looks like eyeliner. Okay. So if you do it right, you can even do it like you have. You have black glue on right now, and you have no eyeliner on. So it actually looks very, very natural. It accentuates your lash line. So.
All right.
So we're just going to do a very fine line of glue.
It's always hard for me to do my own eyelashes.
Yeah.
Kind of lucky though. I'm used to people being able to do it, but I want to be able to do it.
So this is the amount of glue, just a very fine amount of glue you want on there, because if it's too much, it's going to go overboard and you're going to get it in your eye. It's just going to be a crazy mess. So you don't want to do that.
I heard
it's
that
very
it could
fine.
make you blind. Is that true?
Well, it stings, so I wouldn't get it in your eye. It's glue. And then just give it a little blow, or wait a few minutes. Just kind of let it dry a little bit so that it gets tacky.
Okay.
Okay. You don't want to put it on right when it's wet. Just get you to close your eyes for me and just keep them closed until I tell you to open. So as you can see, the glue got a little bit darker, which is great. Less gray, more black. You're going to apply to the inside of the eye first. And you're going to hold it right at the tip of the kind of where the lashes curl, so then that way you can get the best fit in the eye. And then you're just going to kind of press it lightly, kind of the tip of the eyelash, so you can press it in place. Just make sure you kind of leave it a few seconds so it can dry. Make sure there's no hair in the way. Don't want to stick your hair to your eyelash. It's not fun. It's not completely dry yet, but I'll get you to open. And then that's how to apply an eyelash. So it's just very basic, very, very simple. If you practice, it makes perfect. So.
All right, Raquel, are you ready to try?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will take it off for you.
All right.
And you can do the rest. There you are, my dear. There's a little bit of glue for you, so you could just lightly line it. Okay. Give it a little bit of a squeeze.
Little squeeze.
Little squeeze, careful, because it comes out pretty fast. There you go. Yeah. Just lightly line it. Perfect. Make sure you get it all over the lash.
This is like we're doing surgery here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit
We're
more on the
doctors.
end there, just so that we make sure it sticks. Perfect.
Was that good? Okay.
Yeah, that's
This is
good.
serious
Perfect.
stuff.
Okay, awesome. So you can see the way she did it. It's all good. Okay, so
You can do this. All right.
So I'll hold the mirror for you here.
Okay. And you said.
So you're gonna hold the tip of the eyelash. Okay.
Tip?
Yes. So hold the tip of it. It helps actually if you hold it this way. Yes. So if you hold it, kind of holding it like pinching the end of it.
Oh, like the other tip.
Yeah. Hold the other end. Perfect. And then that way you can lightly put it on the inside, tilt it in, put it on the inside, and then pull it across.
Oh, like
Ever so lightly.
So I'm gonna put it.
Yeah. Perfect. Great. And now press it into place. Perfect. Look at you.
Pressure's on.
Yeah. Right into place. Perfect. Yeah. And then the end of it as well.
Wow, that looks so easy.
Perfect. Great.
You
Look at
did
that.
it. That is
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Look at it. So usually I wouldn't recommend flickering your eyelashes right now, but look at the way she did it. It's pretty darn good.
all right. That looks awesome. Good job. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Bryna, if people wanted to find you, where can they go? You were also featured. Your work was also featured on a magazine as well.
Yes, it was featured in Wonderful Wedding Show.
Good
so
job.
it's awesome. Yes, thank you.
All right. So if they want to find you, where can they go?
They can find me at www.blushbeautymobile.yolasite.com, or you can find me on Instagram at Breeze Blush Beauty or Facebook, Blush Beauty Mobile Hair and Makeup.
All right, thank you so much for watching Independent Chick. I'm Dana Foster. You can follow me on Twitter, IC_Dana, and you can also follow Independent Chick on IC_Strength. We also have our YouTube channel, so if you've missed any of our episodes, just go to IC_Strength on YouTube, and you can always find us on Facebook at Independent Chick. Thank you so much for joining us here on another episode of Independent Chick.